Something that's been always been jumping in and out of my mind is an interesting experience I had last summer when I went to a martial arts workshop and I trained with a man from India, and he was teaching us a knife fighting system. And compared to all the different workshops, the few workshops I've been to, the style that I study, the different classes that I heard about that are self defense, there might be combat to it, but it's censored in a way. With this, it was kill. There was no um, peace and neutralizing situation to a point. There was certain things, but what I wanted to talk about is the fact that I asked this man how often he practices, because his movements were so fast and so quick and so crisp. I felt like he practiced every day, but he told me he hasn't practiced it in years. It's been a couple years since he's practiced it. He refreshed himself just for the workshop. And he went on to say that this is possible because there is a darkness inside of you and it wants to protect you. And for a while, that was very powerful. It was something I never thought about, that in a sense, the darkness could be good. In a way, it's a guardian angel, in a way. But then I started to think, you can't have darkness without light. You can't have hot without cold. The yin-yang, the Confucius belief that there is a balance of the two opposing entities. Light and dark is balanced, hot and cold, good and evil. So there's a darkness inside of you that wants to protect you, but that means there is also light inside of you, and it wants to do good. So you keep yourself safe with this darkness, but then the light that balances you out has you do good for the world, has you go out and better yourself, better your community, better your friends, better your loved ones, and then keeping yourself and your loved ones and your community safe with the darkness. There's always a connotation, and I don't blame people for having the negative connotation for darkness and the positive connotation for light. But there is the balance. I know I'm rehashing things that people have heard for many years, have read countless times, but this is my take on it. This is my own personal story to it. That there is the darkness inside of you that wants to protect you. That it is not necessarily evil in that aspect, that it wants to protect you. Because we always think that the darkness is bad. But without a dark sky, you wouldn't be able to appreciate the shining stars. Don't always put a negative connotation on things just because the populace makes it so. Just because the populace believes so doesn't mean you have to believe so. Think about it. Just because the populace says so doesn't mean you have to automatically agree. Psychologists would say have their theories that it happens automatically because it's human nature, but question it. If you have 1,000 people saying that global warming is bad, and this is just an example, I'm not saying it's good, but if you have 1,000 people saying global warming is bad, don't automatically assume that it's bad. Look into it. Do your research. If you have 1,000 people saying that Obama's a wonderful president, don't just assume so. Research. You have to think. You have to think for yourself. Don't get your information from other people. Read. Research. Study. Think. And don't let your thoughts be based on what you have researched. Let your thoughts be what they are, thoughts. Let your opinions be what they are, opinions. Don't let your opinions be formed by facts that you've read in a book. Let your opinions be opinions. That's all I got for you guys today.